Hey, it's Matt Moscona. You found it, your home for the latest content on your favorite team, the LSU Tigers. And we're powered by BetUS. Remember, this football season, earn a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Check out BetUS in the description on this video.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
All right, y'all. Final week of LSU fall camp opens today, Monday, but the Tigers punctuated a long 6-day stretch of 6 consecutive days of practice on Saturday with a more than 2-hour workout, 45 minutes indoors, followed by about an hour and a half outdoors, and the media was invited to watch all of that. We did get to see a 7-on-7 period and 2 full pad 11-on-11 periods. One of those 11-on-11 periods was a full tackle. The other was a thud. So I'll go through my notes from Saturday and sort of what I saw, and I'll run through the 11-on-11 periods and all that sort of stuff as well and sort of empty the notebook. I don't want to bury the lead because I'm sure most everybody's just curious with what happened in the scrimmage portion, the 11-on-11, so I'll get to that. The first period we saw, despite them being in full pads, was a thud. It was not a tackle to the ground. And they were, it was the first period that we saw out there. It was interesting. And they offense started the 30, their own 30, so 70 yards of field. And very quickly, boom, boom, they convert a couple of first downs, and they move in 4 plays to the 31-yard line, the plus 31. And then the defense did what the defense has done so often in this fall camp when they've come into team periods. They brought pressure. It was a safety blitz from Kylan Jackson. Oh, remember we talked a lot last week, Brian Kelly, the moving day this week. Oh, we're going to get into that in a second. Kylan Jackson comes on a safety blitz, forces Garrett Nussmeier to backpedal. He's trying to throw a ball away down the right sideline, doesn't get it all the way out of bounds, and P.J. Woodland picked him off. Yes, Kylan Jackson and P.J. Woodland in that series with the ones. There was a lot of change in the secondary on Saturday. So, we also saw Javen Toviano with the ones. And by the way, he was at the star position replacing Major Burns. So he came on a safety blitz and forced an incompletion. So one of the things Brian Kelly said afterwards, that they were going to have to manufacture their pressure because they don't feel like they're really going to have that opportunity to win a one-on-one matchup consistently. Like you don't have Arden Key, you don't have Sam Montgomery and Barkevius Mingo that are just going to go consistently win one-on-one. So you have to get creative with the way you bring pressure, and we've seen that pretty consistently. The second 11-on-11 period we saw was the last period of the day, and this was full contact, tackle to the ground, sequence, yardage, timeouts, all that stuff. And but they ran it situationally. So it was, and Brian Kelly talked about it after he said we were trying to put Nussmeier in situations. Did you have that Nussmeier cut, please? This was Brian Kelly about Garrett Nussmeier after the scrimmage on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought he did some pretty good things. I mean, there were a couple things in pressures that, he thinks he's got 52 timeouts. He takes timeouts when he wants to take a timeout.
Pause it, please. Okay, so they go to this 11-on-11 period. They're starting at the 10-yard line. So this is a goal-to-go situation, right? Forgive me, they were at the 4. They were inside the 10, so they start at the 4. It was first and goal from the 4. And before they snapped the play, Garrett Nussmeier burned a timeout. So that's what Kelly's talking about there. It's like, look, you saw a pressure look. You got to go run the play. So that's what he's talking about. Pick it up there, please.
Worked through a couple of things out there where, decision-making relative to some pressure looks that I want him to get better at. But I thought his process was really good today. He stayed within himself. He looked under control in the situations that we created for him today. And I think when he does that and his drop is in rhythm, he's really good. So I thought we saw a good version of him. I think there's a better version of him out there.
Okay, so the situations we created, you heard him say that. So you put it first and goal at the 4, burns a timeout before they even run a play. On first down, they ran a really cool play where Xavier Thomas, it was essentially a counter. So all the motions going right, they were on a throwback to the left to Xavier Thomas. It was well covered by the defense. Nuss threw it high. It was incomplete. On second down, they run the ball, and West Weeks comes up with a big run stuff. Do y'all remember? I believe it was before fall camp on OTB when Blake Baker was a guest, and they were asking him about Perkins, and Blake Baker said, nobody's talking about West Weeks, but he's going to play a lot for us, and we see it as 4 starters at linebacker. Well, right there, in a goal-to-go situation, the 2 linebackers on the field were Harold Perkins and West Weeks. So that's not lip service. Like, they're putting him out there, and Weeks comes up with a big run stuff. So now it's 3rd and goal after 2 big stops by the defense, and on 3rd and goal, this is a beautiful play design, beautiful play by execution by the offense. Mason Taylor was lined up, so they were in 12 personnel, so 2 tight ends, 1 back, 2 tight ends. And your 2 tight ends were Mason Taylor and Kamorian Pimpton. And they ran Mason Taylor as a lead blocker. And it sucked the defense in. Nuss pulled it, rolled right. Pimpton emptied out of the right side, right in front of the pylon, and just walk-in touchdown right there. It was a beautiful play design, great execution. It's one of those things where you can see how they're going to be able to get very creative with the personnel they have. So a new set of downs, the first play of the next set of downs from the 4-yard line, Caleb Jackson, boom. Even got met at the line, powered his way into the end zone. It was an awesome run, and you could see just the oozing potential and power that Caleb Jackson has. The 2s went out there. The second defense actually sacked Ricky Collins for a safety. That was a really encouraging play.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sportsbook and casino.
Some of the notes in the 7-on-7, a great reception. The play of the day, actually, in that 7-on-7 period near the goal line, was a touchdown reception by Tradez Green, thrown by Colin Hurley. It was in the back left corner of the end zone. It was a jump ball, and Tradez went and got it, and over P.J. Woodland. Colin Hurley did throw an interception in the back of the end zone to J.K. Johnson. Great play on the sideline, right inside the pylon by Chris Hilton, who came up with a touchdown reception in 7-on-7, but he kind of got tangled up on contact. It was Jordan Allen who made contact as the ball was getting there. Great catch by Hilton, but came down, was favoring his ankle. So they held him out the rest of practice, but it didn't seem like it was going to be anything serious. All in all, a very good day of work, a very productive day of work. And you can see, again, the offense moved the ball. Nussmeier still, you want to purge some of those bad decisions. The defense making plays when they need to. And it was really encouraging to see. I had a chance to ask Brian Kelly after the scrimmage, from day one of camp to now, where were you where did you have some trepidation that you've seen progress and you feel good? And I left it open-ended because I didn't want to be leading him anywhere with the answer. And listen to the very first thing that came out of his mouth.
I like the way our corners have held up on the outside. I think, anytime you go into a year, you want to make sure you eliminate big plays. And one of the things that we all lived through last year was too many big plays on the defensive side of the ball. We've eliminated those big chunk plays, and that was job one.
They have simplified defensively to make sure they're not giving up the giant busted play, the busted coverage, the 16-yard completion that becomes a 60-yard completion. They have most certainly done that in this fall camp. Can it translate a week from Sunday, in 13 days when LSU lines up against Southern Cal? We'll all wait and see. But the early returns, pretty good on that front. And Brian Kelly told you point blank. A couple of the other notes, DJ Chester was absent. Freshman Cohen Eccles ran first-team center. They also rotated Garrett Dellinger in there. I think he'd be an emergency center in that situation. Emory Jones lost a rep to Savion Jones, and Will Campbell lost a rep in the pass rush drill to Braden Swinson. I think that's the second rep all fall camp that I've charted where Will Campbell lost a rep. It's eye-opening when he loses a rep because he just so seldom does. Brian Kelly talked about how there was a little bit of a stomach bug going through the team. That's why DJ Chester wasn't there. Said West and Whit Weeks both had it. It's amazing they practiced. Emory Jones, amazing he practiced. But they're working their way through it right now. But by and large, this is a pretty healthy football team as they make it into their final week now of fall camp. No availability Monday, Tuesday. We do get practice availability Wednesday. No availability Thursday, Friday. And we are scheduled to be able to see the scrimmage in Tiger Stadium on Saturday. Hopefully that holds up and gives us an opportunity to see this team a couple of more times before they get set for USC out in Vegas. Thanks so much for watching the video. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you're notified whenever we post a new video. And our channel is powered by BetUS. 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000. All the info and the link in the description below.